wire cuts, because it's all as a result of all network. Like in Banyan, this system has been there since colonial days. I don't know, or just post-colonial era.
Yeah, but the Banjul ones are they not underground cables? Are they also affected?
No, the low voltage. You're talking about the low voltage.
Low voltage.
For Banyan, the high voltage is underground. Okay. But the low voltage is overhead.
But I understood the Venezuelan project is also taking care of
Exactly. We're trying to lay new cables because the underground cables, as you know, they age. Okay. So with aging,
during the colonial days.
They can fail. So this is a situation whereby we want to create options before the problem comes, and we don't have to, we don't want any firefighting situation here. We want to make sure by the time there's a problem, already we have an alternative in place. We just switch over to the new system, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Demba, some time ago we have been talking about a confinement of meters for us to continue our endeavor in trying to phase out the conventional meter system to the cash power meter system. I don't know, since we started the replacement after the consignment of 6,500 meters, I believe, how has it been with you people in the field?
Yeah, PR actually is going fine. And I think we appreciate the way the customers are, welcoming the replacement exercise. We still appealing to them to make sure they bear with our teams, to make sure when they're there to replace, allow them to do the replacement in the right way. Because this thing eventually, whether you accept us changing your meter now or not, it will eventually be replaced, because we want to phase out all the conventional meters before, according to our plan, in the coming 17 months. So it's like, let us try to make sure we just accept that these meters get replaced. And as you know, the company is venturing into this to make sure, it improve on its cash flow, because we all know the problems that is facing the company. As of now, fuel prices are going up, and a lot of things in the markets are going up. And actually, NAVEC, if you check on our daily or even hourly sort of amount of money that we are spending, it's a huge amount of money. So the company cannot go without bills being paid, and that is why we just want to avoid, this idea of people not paying their bills as a result of areas coming up from customers. At least if we eventually replace the meters, we expect to get this money upfront instead of going after the customers, asking them to pay the money that they owe to the company.
Yeah, one thing that I want us to clarify here, yes, you are from the commercial department.
Yeah.
And I think it is important that customers know that it is not in our own will that we decide not to give them electricity, because I think when there is no electricity, it's a big loss for the company.
Yeah, it is. Just as Mr. Jai was saying, actually we have mentioned this on several occasions. It's not to our interest to even load shed people, because the moment you load shed an area for probably even an hour, the amount of money the company is losing is huge. And that is why our wish and intentions are to make sure this system improve and we start supplying, even if not 24 hours, at least 23 hours of electricity supply, to make sure at least our cash flow improve, because the more we supply electricity, the more sales we got from our customers. And that is why if people think NAVEC is happy when they are low shedding their customers, that is not the case, because as much as we are employees of the company, we are also customers in the end, because eventually you go back to your house and you find out that you are off, and you ask when did the power goes off. They will tell you probably since in the morning there was no power, and then you have to bear the consequences. But actually we are just appealing to our customers to be patient enough, and we hope, as Mr. Jaji has just mentioned, in the coming week or so, definitely the system will improve a lot, because as we all know, we have most of our generators that are on maintenance at our own level and even at the IPP level. And then we hope by the next 1 week or so, at least probably G6, which is a very robust engine, will probably be ready for operation. And if that happened, then there would be a lot of improvement on the power supply.
Idi Jaju, we were talking about the new project that is ongoing. That is the rehabilitation and expansion of electricity in the GBA. This reminds me of a discussion we did on West Coast Radio regarding people using papers to advertise on our polls. When they put papers on the writings, the numbers, and the ABCs that we put on our polls, it makes our work very, very difficult. And there was an issue that we also discussed, which is a very pathetic issue, that people are bent on destroying the installations or the things that we put in town to help distribute electricity to them, one of which is this new project where the local contractors are erecting poles in some parts. People are bent on going and trying to destroy those poles, cut the cables on top of them and take them away. I don't know how difficult this problem has been for you, supervising the overall execution of that project.
Actually, it's been difficult in a sense that it's like you're trying to make progress, whilst there are guys they are trying to pull it back. So we will appeal to the general public out there to at least to be vigilant, because like some of those issues doesn't happen, without anybody taking notice. Because in the government situation, like people, you can see something going wrong, as long as it doesn't affect you, you are not interested. But this electricity is for everybody.
And in fact, in installing those cables, is it not dangerous in terms of electricity?
Yeah, it's dangerous because some of them are already powered. Some of them are going on a test run. So you might even end up executing, electrocuting yourself. Yeah. So it's quite, it's pathetic and dangerous, So Apple, we make a big appeal to the public out there to be vigilant. Anyone seen doing such illegal activities should be reported, and legal action be taken. Because at the end of the day, a lot of funds have been put into this project, a lot of money, because our target is to make sure we reach out to everyone within the Greater Banjul area. So, but if you have these things happening on the other side, that means progress will be slow, definitely.
Then we go back to replacement. We did say that we are going to start with the major consumers.
Yeah, the high consumers.
The high consumers, not major consumers. Okay.
Yeah.
But people still want to do the replacement. So are you still concentrating on the high consumers, or you going back to those ones that are whose consumption are not very high?
No, actually we're doing both together, but that was just the beginning where we identified the high consumers as our priority. But as of now, I mean, if anybody requests for replacement, we process it and we make sure it is done. But eventually, I mean, we have started, in fact, doing it by zone, that is by liaising with the meter reading department to bring forward all the meters in each of the zones that are still conventional to be replaced to cast
power. Do you know where you are at the moment?
Yeah, actually, it's like we are touching different areas, especially in the Fajara area, because zone 16 is our priority. And then we are targeting all the customers in those areas because most of them are heavy consumers. And then that is why we have started in that area. But we are still doing areas in Kanifing, in Josuang, in Brikama, in Banjul. And then eventually provinces also, we have allocated a lot of meters for provinces, and we would collaborate with the managers there, and we make sure at least the replacement for provinces also is going fine or is going well, because at the initial stage we did most of the replacement in Bansang, and then I don't think we have much in Bansang anymore, because during that period they forwarded almost 90% of the conventional meters there, and we decided to replace all of them.
Now, what about those customers who still own now a huge amount of money from the conventional meters? Do you still go on and do the replacement?
Yeah, what we are doing here, Per, is if the meter is disconnected, then probably we would not replace it immediately. We would try to consult the customer first for him to come forward, and then we sort of discuss with him as to how he can pay any amount towards the bill that is outstanding. And then if he pays any amount, we see what suits the customer and what would also benefit the company. And then we go into an agreement of sort of a mode of payment to make sure this RS is cleared, and we replace the meter to cash power, because that is the only way we can help the customers, and we help ourselves as well.
Thank you very much. Viewers, be reminded that you're watching programs